Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Seduce Me 2. We are here with Sam waiting for us outside of our bedroom door. Don't know why, hopefully he did not see us settle.
Hey.
Hey, I knew that this could only mean one thing. My test was waiting for me. Oh right, we didn't do our test yet. I pressed my lips together, nervous, but knowing that I had to go through it regardless of how I felt. Diana's words began to flood back into my mind as I took Sam's hand and gave it a squeeze. Sam squeezed my hand back, nodding and led me away from our bedroom towards the war room where Diana was waiting for us. As I expected, Sarah wasn't with Diana, which made Diana's anxiousness seem a little more prominent. He really did never leave her side. Was she that dependent on him? As Diana locked her sights on us, she let out a sigh and gestured to the table, where a large conglomerate, I'm guessing, of items were placed and presented. Sam halted his stop, staring at the table in absolute shock. I, however, merely grew confused. On the table was an assortment of single flowers, each of a different color and type. They were formed in a magic circle pattern, but there was no magic to be seen.
When did you...
Hush, this is for her.
Sam instantly shut his mouth as I looked at Sam in confusion. He knew what this was. I turned to Diana, completely lost.
Dear, do you know what I've prepared here?
A flower crown? I stared at the table, unsure how to discern it. A couple of ideas came to mind, but I didn't want to be wrong if this was part of my test. Sam knew what it was too, given the strong reaction from him. Could it have been a demon marriage ritual? Or don't even answer. Wait, what? Is it? I mean, she said flowers. But what if I'm wrong? Oh, what the heck? Does this matter? I don't know what it is. But I don't want to be quiet. Should I be quiet? Should I be quiet to be safe? But Sam knows what it... But I mean, he lives in the demon world. I don't know. Don't even answer. I don't know. If it was what I thought it was, I didn't want to answer. If I had to go through with it to pass the stupid test, then I needed more time. Something like this was apparently very serious and needed heavy consideration. Diana pressed her lips together before sighing and gesturing to the flowers.
This is a marriage ritual.
Oh, dang it.
Freshly blossomed flowers, holding peak-worthy magical essence, arranged in a magic circle, are part of what a binding ritual needs to happen.
Part? Diana nodded and looked to the table.
The other part is a precious item forged between two souls to bind them together.
I couldn't believe it. This was my test. There was no way I was ready for this. But here I was, starting at a setup that just screamed, go through with it. Part of me was angry and aggravated. I had to go through this for some stupid dragon's power. This was something Sam and I were supposed to discuss together. Now it felt like an arranged agreement. What was I going to do? The test was obviously going to make me go through with this for the sake of Sam, but I still wasn't ready. Soul binding seemed very heavy, and as much as I loved Sam, I needed to be 100% clear. Sam stepped forward and glared at Diana.
We're not doing this.
Pardon?
You heard me. We're not going through with this.
I stared at Sam wide-eyed. What? He didn't want to go through it anymore? What was going on? I remember clearly that he wanted to do it. Now he was against it. Sam looked to me and I could suddenly see the reason why buried in his eyes. He still wanted to, but not like this. I could tell he was throwing away something he desperately wanted for my own sake. Sam turned and grasped my shoulder, staring into my eyes.
I know that I want to do this. I want to do this more than anything. But you are more important to me than some dumb ritual. I will never let you force yourself to make this decision if you're nowhere near ready.
So caring. I felt like crying. This was exactly why I loved him. It was one of a million reasons why Sam was so important to me. My heart felt at ease, looking into his eyes and letting rude tears roll down my cheeks. It may have seemed like a simple thing, but to me this was important. I gently caressed Sam's cheek, feeling the warmth of his skin beneath my hand, and thanking every deity I knew that I had him beside me as mine. However, as Diana cleared her throat, we both turned to her in reaction. What really threw us off was seeing her cover her mouth, hiding some sort of smirk that was peeking out between her fingers.
Who said anything about you going through with it?
Sam and I became dumbfounded. What? We didn't have to go through with it. Then why was it set up?
For fuck's sake, if you're messing with us...
Diana began to laugh hysterically, causing Sam to stop talking and become dumbfounded once again. What the hell was going on?
I knew it. I knew it.
Is this a demon lord possessing her?
What the fuck, Diana?
I was beyond lost. Ow, bit my tongue again. Well, it was my cheek last time, but now my tongue. As Diana continued to laugh, she curled over her stomach and covered her face, trying to catch her breath.
This was perfect. This was absolutely perfect.
The dragon possessed her. Diana, hello? Now I became frustrated. What was so funny about this? Diana finally stopped laughing, wiping her eyes from the tears that had formed from laughing so hard, and grinned at me and Sam.
I didn't set this up to make you two do it. That would ruin the point of the test.
Then what was the test? I became flustered, now mentally scrambled as to what was going on. I don't know. As my body suddenly began to sink into the ground, however, I gasped and looked down, seeing a large purple pentagram pulling me and Sam into the floor.
Whoa!
What?
Demon marriage lets you know where your soul partner is at all times. The test is that you find your husband without it.
I couldn't even fight back because I was engulfed by darkness at last. I couldn't tell how long I was trapped in the darkness. All I knew was that I was going to wake up and find Sam. As I opened my eyes, I had to adjust to the bright light around me and the sound of nature in my ears. Ow, bit my cheek! Braces suck. I rubbed my eyes and found myself in a forest, laying underneath a large tree with burn marks across its bark. I could tell that this would be my starting place and my marker if I got lost, so while I felt terrible for the tree, I was thankful to have something to visually reference. So this was my test. I had to find the man I loved without anything but my heart and my instincts. This was cheesy as hell, expecting someone to find someone else using the power of love. I loved Sam deeply, but I didn't know if it would be strong enough to guide me through a terrain I was unaware of. Sam, who also could have been wandering around looking for me. There were so many variables to consider. Still, this was a test for a reason. I had to figure this out. I cupped my hands together and shouted, knowing his name would be a way to bring him to me. Amoris? Amaris? The nearby birds around me fluttered wildly into the air in surprise at my shout, but Sam didn't hear. What the hell? That was supposed to have worked. That would have been too easy, character. Something must have had him under holy magic or something to negate the demon summoning. Another part of the test. Guess I wasn't allowed to cheat. It was worth a try. Just go and find him. Calm down. Let's calm down first. I had to be methodical about this, I guess. There was no use in panicking over the situation. The forest couldn't be that big. Could it? I shook my head. Nope. I had to find him if it was the last thing I do. This was the only way to get the dragon's power, as difficult and unnecessary as it was. I took in a deep breath and looked around, trying to decide where to start. I started heading to the left of the tree's burns mark. It was better than no direction at all, and it was a start. Each step I took became one filled with haste. I wanted to find Sam soon, and I didn't want to be lazy about this. It felt like hours went by until I stopped and looked around, exhausted from walking so far at such a fast pace. I leaned against a nearby tree, catching my breath. How the hell am I going to find him? Something in my heart began to feel heavy. What if I wasn't able to find him? What if this was an impossible quest? I felt my body slide down the side of the tree, making me sit down at the base in fear. This couldn't be. Sadness and ache began to consume my thoughts. There was no way to track him, no way to find him at all in this place. I'd be searching forever, only hoping that I would find him and pray that he was alive when I did. My hands combed through my hairs as I fought back tears. Please let me wake up if this was a dream. Please let me see him again.
Giving up so soon, my dear?
No. At Diana's voice, I suddenly gasped and looked up, only to find no one around. I quickly stood and scanned the area, but alas, there was only trees around. Diana, I don't know why I said her name wrong. Diana, I don't know what to do. How can I find him?
You have all of the means to find him. You're just not thinking it through.
because my mind is clouded. I looked into the air and confused as ever. What does she mean? I didn't have anything but the clothes I was wearing. Diana chuckled slightly.
Think. Besides his heart, what else did he give you as a token of his love?
As she said it, the answer came into my mind, replaying the night Sam proposed to me at the night sky. I looked at my hand, seeing the engagement ring Sam had given me, resting on my finger, glistening in the light.
There we are. The other part of the marriage ritual.
Second part. This was...
Indeed. It seems he intended to ask you to be his in body, heart, and spirit.
My heart gave a hard and heated thump against my chest, agreeing with Diana's words. He had been prepared all along to ask me to be his, but wanted to at least give me what I wanted first, before asking for what he wanted. I smiled, staring at the sparkling emeralds and diamonds on my ring, and finally feeling the magic pulse within it. Still, I was lost on how to use it. How will this help me? Diana chuckled once more, her voice quieter than before.
I can't give you all of the answers, dear. But at least you won't be lost anymore.
Let's use the ring as a compass. Her voice finally vanished into the air, leaving me alone once more. However, my focus was on my ring. I remember clearly that this wasn't an ordinary ring, but one magically forged the night Sam proposed. Sam, I'm going to find you. No matter where the hell you are, if you're being Tarzan right now, on vines, please come over this way. I nodded and felt a wave of hope and courage rush through my body. I was ready now. I focused on the ring, trying to will it to give me a sign, a hint, anything to help me find Sam. As I stared into it, a word popped into my mind. Letting it loose, I could feel magic pulse in the air form around my body, so it's like a little fairy or something? Or more. My hand suddenly became wrapped in a green chain shaped marking, sprouting from the base of my ring before jetting off of my skin and flying forward through the air and deeper into the forest. I felt myself grinning from ear to ear. I was going to find him. I quickly burst into a sprint, following the ethereal chain that was leading me towards Sam, uncaring of the harsh breaths I was taking or the pain that shot through my legs. I needed to keep going forward. All that mattered was that I had to keep moving forward. The chain twisted and turned around trees and often arched around obstacles. Got an itchy ear. The amount of bushes and smaller trees began to grow the farther in I went, but I continued. Soon enough, I found myself walking towards the descending mouth of a cave, where a familiar brown-haired demon boy laid face down at its edge. Sam! Is it Sam? I ran forward and slid onto my knees, lifting his head into my lap. Around his neck was a golden collar, which upon my touch vanished and caused Sam to stir from his comatose state.
What?
Oh, he was asleep the whole time? My heart began to swell as I stared down at him, tears welling up in my eyes. This was really him. He was safe here in my arms, and I had found him. His emerald gaze bore into mine, still dazed from the sleep he was in. As he stared up at me, Sam lifted his head and caressed my cheek, causing me to unconsciously nuzzle into it.
There you are.
Hi. Just nod, or boy, you're going to let me kiss you? Does this even fit the scenario right now? Just nod or kiss him. I don't know, at this point, I think I would just nod because of all the emotions I've been. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I was still happy. I crept over his head and kissed it. Oh, hand, not head. Feeling so complete that he was here with me. I had found him at last.
Well done.
To our surprise, the voice didn't ring in our heads. The voice of the dragon echoed from the cave, causing me and Sam to separate and stare into the void.
You have proven to me the strength of your heart. Now, for the final test, Sam must prove his.
Okay. I instinctively gripped Sam tighter. We weren't going to be separated again, were we? Sam, however, slowly stood up, guiding me with him, and glared into the darkness.
Hit me with your best shot. I'm ready.
A dark, echoing chuckle reverberated from the cave, causing a sliver of fear to rush down my body. I was beyond nervous, but we had come this far. We were going to win his powers.
Step into the cave and face me. I will judge you.
Okay. The memories of my nightmare began to fill my head. What if this was a trick? What if the dragon killed Sam while he was in there? Despite my frightening thoughts, Sam stepped towards the cave, nodding.
You got it.
My stomach's growling. Every voice and nerve in my head screamed for me to stop him. I didn't want him to die. At the same time, this was a test. He had to do it. I was placing my heart on the table and hoping it wouldn't be ripped apart with a single blast. Let him do it. We gotta believe in him. This is our love and belief in each other. I had to trust him. He could do this. I watched as Sam walked into the cave, following behind until he vanished into the darkness. I stood once again between the light and the dark, waiting. My body, sorry. Moments of silence ran by, filling my body with anxiousness. Was he safe? Was he okay? At the sudden shout of a dragon's roar, I jumped and gripped to the cave wall, frightened to the core. It echoed into silence out of the mouth of the cave, but I became worried. What happened? What was going on? The faint echo of footsteps began to make their way towards me. Despite me not being able to see it into the dark, I hoped it was Sam. I prayed it was Sam unscathed. As Sam finally appeared out of the darkness, I gasped, not seeing him at last, but when I saw his eyes. They were swirling with red and green flames along the whites of his eyes, while his emerald irises glowed in the shadow of the cave. Just from seeing him, I could tell he had changed and had become much more powerful. Sam? Sam grinned at me, stepping up in front of me and placing a hand on my head.
Sup, you doofus?
Nice to see that you're still, saying I'm a doofus. I bit my lip and shook my head, pounding a fist into his chest before hugging him to me tightly. This music is just so perfect in the cube.
Hey, it's all right. I'm right here.
Thank God you are.
May your battle be won, Lord of Dragons.
I looked over Sam's shoulder into the darkness, seeing the faint outline of a large dragon's head fade away before my eyes. What the hell? Lord of Dragons. Before Sam could answer me, a light burst into the air, causing us to grip onto each other and shut our eyes. The warmth of the light seemed to comfort and ease our travel to wherever the dragon was sending us. Regardless, I clung to Sam tightly, desperate not to let go of him. When we opened our eyes at last, we were in the war room in the middle of the space where what's the rebel leaders, the incubi and their wives staring wide-eyed at us. Before anyone could move, however, Diana applauded at us, making everyone turn their heads towards her in confusion.
Well done, you two.
Thanks.
Wait, you knew where they were all along?
She told us they were gone. She didn't say she didn't know where.
Listen, that's rude.
At least they're safe now.
James, however, took a step towards Sam, peering at him. Sam's eyes had returned to normal, but I bet that his aura was different now that he was Lord of Dragons, or whatever the dragon had called him.
At least you're safe now.
You were worried about him too, dude.
Don't ruin it. He has a reputation.
He's much stronger than before now.
Sam gave James a smug look before holding out his hand.
Yeah, I'm all right now.
The two brothers shook hands, smiling at one another. I was happy to know that he was all right as well, giving him a squeeze. Diana, however, cleared her throat as the rebel leaders took off, catching everyone's attention.
Well, I hate to break up this little reunion, but we have a battle to fight tomorrow. We should rest.
Everyone was in agreement, especially my aching body. The run in the forest was not a kind one. As everyone began to leave, however, Diana called out.
Sam, a moment please. Alone.
I was worried about what Diana wanted to speak to Sam about alone, but I left the room with the rest of the group regardless. Diana seemed adamant. However, I remained at the door listening in.
So, you got me alone. What do you want?
I peeked into the room to see Diana faced away from Sam, who had his arms crossed and was waiting for her to speak.
Tomorrow is the day we head out to fight him. We've been fighting for 10 years, and it will finally end.
You're stalling. What is it?
Do you know how many lives have been lost because of this war?
A lot. Sam finally lowered his arm and glared at the back of Diana's head. I glared as well. Why was she bringing this up? From her tone of voice, however, she seriously wanted an answer.
Hundreds? Thousands?
9.5 million lives.
Knew it. I was gonna say millions. Sam's breath hitched in shock, as did mine. That many lives had been lost. Was this war truly as bloody as the rebel leaders described it to be? Diana turned her head and stared into Sam's shocked gaze. That's why we're gonna stop it. Bloop. There we go. Now, I think we're nearing the end of Sam's route. I don't know. I've just been enjoying this because it's like a breath of fresh air. This whole test thing and then the new scenery we got to see. Pretty nice. Hopefully Seto is doing okay because I don't think he told Diana anything. And I don't know if Diana knows he's not around. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful and I'll catch you guys in the next one.